Every summer, Barcelona fans expect fireworks, a superstar winger, a statement signing, a new face to plaster across the Camp Nou. But what if the club's smartest move isn't a blockbuster? What if Hansi Flick has something bolder, something braver in mind? Not a household name, not a headline grabber, but a weapon, sharpened in silence, forged in failure. This is the story of Ademola Lookman, a player who's been written off, loaned out and underestimated, yet now stands as one of Europe's most effective wide forwards. From being benched in England to tearing apart Leverkusen in a European final, from the fringes of football to a name that's now on Hansi Flick's radar. In a time when Barcelona's identity is shifting and its finances are a little bit stretched, Lookman may offer what few others can. Tactical versatility, direct impact, and a price that doesn't look to break the club. So why could Lookman, not Luis Diaz, Marcus Rashford, Nico Williams, be Flick's first bold gamble? Let's find out. Ademola Lookman's story isn't one of instant stardom. It's a football journey marked by struggle, reinvention, and silent resilience. Born in London, Lookman honed his skills in South London before joining and being discovered by Charlton Athletic. No elite academy, no early fame, just raw talent and relentless drive. At just 19, he earned a move to Everton. His debut, a goal at Goodison Park against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. But even the brightest lights can flicker. What followed were years of being shuffled around, loans to RB Leipzig, Fulham and Leicester City, moments of brilliance but no real roots, no true home. In Germany, he did show flashes, but he couldn't really cement a starting spot. In England, his technical ability was never in doubt, but his consistency was. Coaches saw potential, but never a plan. That was until Atalanta. In 2022, under the tactical chaos of Gasperini, Lookman didn't just find a team, he found himself. Suddenly, he was no longer a passenger. He was a system player, a threat, a difference maker. He scored 13 goals in his debut Serie A season and followed it up with a European masterclass in Dublin, netting a hat-trick in the Europa League final against Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen. That night didn't just mark his arrival, it was redemption. The moment football could no longer ignore Ademola Lookman. A journeyman no more, now a contender, and maybe a Barca player in waiting. Ademola Lookman doesn't just glide across the pitch, he darts. There's urgency in every touch, precision in every run. His game is calculated form of chaos. A winger who doesn't wait to be involved, he forces it. In possession, Lookman is what analysts call a disruptor. He receives the ball and immediately asks questions. He isolates defenders 1v1 and pulls them out of their structure. He's particularly dangerous in what coaches call the half space, the narrow channel between fullback and centre-back, where his change of pace becomes a weapon. At Atalanta, Gasperini unlocked the most devastating version of Lookman by giving him the freedom. He's not shackled to the touchline. He tucks inside, makes blindside runs behind strikers, or arrives late in the box. Often he becomes the striker, especially when the centre forward drops deep. According to the stats, he completes over 80% of his dribbles, one of the best rates among wingers in Europe. He ranks in the 90th percentile for non-penalty goals, progressive carries, and dribbles leading to a shot. This is not just a winger who beats his man, he ends moves. But Lookman is more than just flash. He's built for modern football, high pressing, vertical, and aggressive without the ball. At Atalanta, he operated in a side that pressed man-to-man for 90 minutes, and he thrived. Whether deployed left, right, or centrally, he tracks back, presses in packs, and even wins the ball high up the pitch. It's work ethic that meets execution. And when he breaks forward, he does not hesitate. Cut inside, quick shift, far corner, or a quick link up, off-ball movement, and a striker's finish. He scored goals like a winger. He's also scored goals like a number 9. In the Europa League final, it was the full showcase. Leverkusen hadn't lost in 51 games. Lookman tore them apart, scoring 3 wildly different goals, a composed finish, a long-range stunner, and a poacher's tap-in. It was a night that confirmed one thing. This is a player who steps up on the biggest stage. And it's no longer about potential, it's about the impact. He's not a system passenger, he's a system accelerant. In a Barcelona team that's already been reshaped by Hansi Flick's verticality and intensity, Lookman may not be the obvious choice, but I'm telling you now, he might be the perfect one. Hansi Flick didn't just bring a new manager bounce to Barcelona, no, he brought a revolution. They were no longer a side obsessed with sterile possession or endless recycling. Flick's Barça is built around verticality, dynamism and precision pressing. He's adopted a modern 4-3-3 or a 4-1-2-3 or a 4-2-3-1 base, but again, in practice, it does morph into all of these different formations. In possession, the left back inverts, the right winger holds width, the double pivot becomes a launching pad, and the attacking midfielder drives into the half spaces. It's not tiki-taka, it's targeted chaos. One of the bigger questions you probably would have to ask is, what happens if Rafinha is a little bit inconsistent? When Lewandowski, who's pushing 37, needs someone to run beyond him, or he just needs a rest himself. If we need to rotate Lamine Yamal out of the team because he's playing a lot of minutes, or Dani Olmo is injured again like he has been this season. What do you do in those kind of situations? And I believe this is where Ademola Lookman becomes a tactical weapon. Of course, as we know, he can play on that left-hand side, cutting inside, arriving late in the box, or linking in the half space. He can offer what sometimes Rafinha does lack, the directness, the defensive intensity and smart pressing triggers. And most intriguingly, he can be used in Flick's evolving false winger role, tucking inside while the fullback overlaps or providing width if the fullback inverts. Lookman is a player who thrives in transitional moments, something Flick is emphasizing more than any Barca coach since Luis Enrique. From Atalanta, Lookman already understands how to break in waves, rotate positions mid-game and apply immediate pressure after losing possession. He's also flexible enough to adapt to Flick's second variant. When Barca build in a box midfield, Lookman could stay wide or pinch in as a third runner, attacking space behind a high line. And crucially, he's one of the few players on the market comfortable in both structured positional play and chaotic counterattacks. So whether Flick wants to attack patiently through a Pedri, break fast with a Lamine Yamal, or overload that zone 14 as people like to call it with a Firmin or Dani Olmo, Lookman adds balance, unpredictability and pressure-resistant versatility. So why would Barcelona, a club already boasting Rafinha, Ferran Torres, Lamine Yamal and Robert Lewandowski, look at Ademola Lookman? Simple. It's not about replacing anyone, it's about giving Flick options, especially on the left-hand side where Rafinha often plays, or when Lamine Yamal, still just a teenager, needs a rest. It's about the moments when Lewandowski can't go 3 games a week and you don't want to force Ferran into roles that might not potentially suit him. Lookman can offer something none of them quite can, a direct, dual-footed winger who thrives in tight spaces and presses like his life depends on it. He can rotate wide or play centrally in a 2-man forward line, something Flick trialled late last season. He can hug the touchline or attack diagonals into the box. And crucially, he's affordable, proven in Europe and ready to slot in with zero ego. Barcelona's rebuild under Flick isn't just about elegance, it's about structure, flexibility and control. Adding Lookman gives Flick one more lever to pull, one more player who fits the tactical mold without disrupting the existing core. This isn't a flashy transfer, it's a functional one, and those are often the most important. Ademola Lookman's path has never been straightforward, but it's been purposeful. From street pitches in Peckham to the heights of the Europa League, he's evolved into a player of grit, flair and fearless decision making. And now he stands on the edge of something even bigger. Hansi Flick's Barcelona isn't just building a team, it's building a machine. And Lookman, he might just be the next cog that keeps it ticking. Not a star signing, but maybe the smartest ones. Because sometimes the moves that make the least noise make the biggest impact. As always guys, make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Should Barcelona go in for Lookman? Let me know and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.